What's up everyone, welcome to the Music Corner, episode 1, presented by Axis Ballymun and hosted by myself, Ger Kellett. So what's the Music Corner, what are we going to be doing? Well, over the next 6 weeks on each episode I'm going to be interviewing a local musician, whether they're from North Dublin, Dublin or sometimes beyond, and we're going to be talking about their career to date and their plans for the future. It's a chance for the artist to showcase the music and the material that they've put out and to talk about the hard work and dedication that they put into the craft. And then it's a chance for people at home, you the audience, to discover some new musicians and to learn about that hard work and that dedication that your local artists are putting into their music. So just a little bit about myself. I'm your host, Ger Kellett. I've been a radio DJ in the past on Near FM with a show called The Artist Lounge, which was another show dedicated to promoting independent musicians, and now I work in Axis Ballymun as the music studio coordinator and the videographer for the online content. And now our guest for episode 1 is someone that I'm very excited about. It's a guy called Just Dave. He's from Finglas. He's a singer, songwriter and musician. I've got a chance to work with him in the studio. I've booked him for gigs and I've even worked with him on short films, so he's a very talented guy. And yeah, we're going to get into the interview now, so enjoy. Well, first of all, nice one for joining us, man. First guest on the Music Corner, Just Dave. Love. So what I wanted to do, man, was kind of go back to when you first kind of started releasing music under Just Dave and Let It Fall. That was the first single to kind of come off the EP, Losing Sleep. So if you just talk about kind of this, like the story behind the song, Let It Fall, and then there's some interesting kind of visual artwork for the single as well, if you can talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, well, Let It Fall, like, I was getting back at playing music, like I'd just gone through the whole band thing, and you know yourself, it's always musical differences or whatever the fuck you want to call it, but like, yeah, it's pretty much just that for that tune. Like, it was the first tune I needed to get out, so I knew it needed to be upbeat, and it needed to like just be an upbeat, easy listener. Do you know what I mean? Just to dip me toes back in the water, so to speak. You know.
And what was the kind of the reaction like then from the public, since like the first track under Just Dave, new single off an EP that's coming? What was the feedback good from the public, or how was dipping the toes back in? How did you find that?
Yeah, I found like a lot of the people who were into the band and used to come to the gigs and stuff like that sort of followed on and would still be sharing the stuff that I was putting out myself. Do you know what I mean? So it was,
remind us.
in a way, I was starting from scratch, but in another sense, like, I kind of had a little bit of groundwork laid already, you know, from the band and all.
Yeah, which band was that? Sorry, Dave. What's the name of that band?
Scope at the time.
Yeah, and
that was me, Sean O'Flaherty, and Lee Frame.
Nah, I know the lads. Yeah. So you finished off and kind of carried a little bit of that following in to Just Dave, which is good, man. And then the artwork. Who was behind the artwork for Let It Fall, the single?
Yeah, I threw that together myself, man. To be honest,
that's always
like
one of the hardest parts, nearly, I find anyway. Releasing new music is trying to find a decent image to go along with it that kind of says something about the track, you know.
Yeah, see, I'm the type that I'll be sitting there on Google typing in random like combinations of like keywords until like something pops up. Like, if it's copyrighted, like I'll try and see what I can do in terms of usage, like, you know. But
getting creative.
Usually I'll try to look for something that more than one thing. If you can layer more than one thing that's royalty free, you kind of make your own of something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shotgun in it, basically. Do you know what I mean? It's just
repurpose and reuse. Then so like moving on from that, after Let It Fall came out, the next single off the EP was Strung Along, which had an interesting music video to go along with it. Again, I had interesting artwork to go along with it. So yeah, talk about that track a little bit, man. What was the inspiration behind it? And then if you want to talk about the concept for the video and the artwork as well.
Yeah, see, Strung Along, it's kind of like, it's the idea I'm trying to give off is like the whole manipulated by a puppet scenario. Do you know what I mean? Where like, let's say you're in a relationship, whether the person listening is male or female, the other person in the relationship tugging on the strings, do you know what I mean, and stringing them along. So like it's kind of literal and like, but yeah, it's pretty much it's in a nutshell. It's the name says it all. Like, you know, it's just,
and then the artwork.
It's about I suppose.
Yeah, and I was just saying, if you
say
see
again,
then you're in the puppet on the artwork, and then the music video as well, you're transformed into a puppet as well. So
yeah, there was a bit of fun with that, because there's actually sort of a sub context.
Yeah,
I suppose it's like you're mirroring what the song is speaking about, like, you know, but at the same time, it's sort of, even the style of the tune, if you probably notice yourself, is completely different than I normally do.
Yeah, definitely.
So, like, in a way, it was kind of like a bit of a piss take of modern pop music, you know?
Yeah.
The way the videos are all shot, and that's basically where the prop money and stuff came from. It's sitting on the Mercedes and stuff in the music video, you know?
And who
and there's just a bunch of stuff that basically, all the stereotypical pop song stuff that could happen in a music video, all just thrown into one for the laugh, like, you know.
Yeah, and who worked on you with the music video? Who shot and kind of edited that with you?
That was Adam Carney from AK Productions, and Jordan as well, who directed it then. So yeah, it's good working with the lads. It's always like a smooth operation, you know.
Yeah.
We'll always meet up beforehand, get the concept out in the open, and then.
Yeah, and then you kept busy, man. You kept kind of hitting people with stuff when you came out as Just Dave. You had these singles, and then the next single to come along was I Give Up, which again had another music video. If you want to talk about, obviously the track is about just kind of walking away from a relationship and kind of just accepting the end of it. And then the video is the one shot around Temple Bar, if I'm right.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah, so if you want to talk to us a little bit about the track, why you felt you needed to kind of pen that track, and then the idea for the video as well. There's no kind of story to the video. It's just kind of really well shot in the one take. If you want to talk to us about those.
Yeah, see, I kind of, in terms of the video, I'd noticed, like, I'd seen a few videos in the past couple of years that were like, if they weren't all one take, they were mostly made up of one take, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I noticed whether I thought the song was great or not. It's just the kind of video where you just keep watching it, like, you know. It reminded me of that U2 video years ago. Do you remember that? It's like a one take and there's a parade going on behind them in the car and that.
The name is escaping me, but I know what you mean. Yeah, it kind of pulls you in, because that's...
I think it's called or something.
Which is it, sorry?
I think it's called The Sweetest Thing.
Right, I must check that out. But I know what you're saying, because them one-shot kind of videos are the real long takes. They're hard to pull off, man. It's hard for the person actually shooting it, and then it's hard for yourself, like an artist, to actually... Because you have to do that a few times. I'm assuming it wasn't a one-take, long take, and that was it.
Well, funny enough, we only shot it twice.
Ooh, brave.
All in all. The first time, like, you're walking around town and, like, I know it looks like there's nobody there in terms of the camera, and there wasn't on Temple Bar because it was just before we went into lockdown.
Yeah.
So there was, like, practically nobody on the streets and all at the time, and yeah, we made the most of having Temple Bar empty. It was handy, but by the time we made it up to Dublin Castle,
Yeah.
it was more like people sitting around having lunch and stuff. And basically these two lads just walk out and nowhere, and there's a chap on his arm with a guitar and a cameraman following him, miming a tune that's played in through a speaker, like, you know.
Yeah, it's always in
So it was an experience, like, so I made sure the second time was the money shot, so I wouldn't have to keep doing that all day, like, you know.
It's always an experience shooting a music video when you're kind of like an indie artist. The stuff you have to do, you kind of just have to go out and hope for the best and get wherever you can.
Yeah.
And then when I Give Up came out, after that then was the actual release of the EP, Losing Sleep EP, which was the first project from Just Dave, a whole project. So that got released on Spotify, and then you had the music videos that we've just talked about there. So what's it like? Talk about the feelings of releasing a project, actually finishing it and putting it out there. What are those feelings like? And then what was the actual feedback like from the public and fans that you've kind of carried on through the years? What was all that like?
Well, firstly, there's relief, I suppose, because, like, if I think back, like, I'm trying to make something out of my music since I was in school, like about 12 or 13, you know what I mean? So, like, 26 now, and to think it took that long to hone me craft to a point where I was comfortable enough actually releasing me stuff then, like, you know. And at the end of the day, you have to learn not to be a purist and just let some things go in terms of perfection, like, you know what I mean?
And what was the feedback like then from people? Because I've listened to it a lot. I'm a big fan of the project, man, but like just a general kind of feedback from audiences. What was that like? Was it positive, or were you happy with how it was received?
I got great feedback. Like, in terms of the first EP, like, I'm working on some stuff now that's a lot more instrumental in nature, well as lyrical, but, like, you know, the other tunes are quite unplugged and just like a guitar, a piano or something like that. On the first EP, it's like so a lot of people, I noticed, I had a lot of comments, like, mentioning things about the lyrics and all in particular, which was where I really focused on this EP, like, you know what I mean? It's more like an unplugged storytelling of part of the human condition, like, you know what I mean? It's something.
Was that purposely done because the songs were so stripped back? It was only kind of a vocal, a guitar, and some piano. Was that like a conscious decision you made to make like these lyrics need to be important and they need to hit home because they're so on display? There's not much to hide behind when it's just your voice on a guitar or your voice on a piano.
Yeah, and that can cause problems in itself, considering a lot of singers can't stand the sound of their own voice and they hear it back. But, like, yeah, like, each song sort of played into the other, and I wanted to kind of capture that story, you know, the essence that, like, these are chapters in a person's life, but it mirrors the human condition in a sense, because it's something that everybody, like,
it's a universal.
Everybody can reach out. Everybody can reach out and feel them songs, like, you know what I mean? They like, well, I hope they can. That's the idea.
Saying like, whether you're a man or you're a woman or you're gay or you're straight, like, everybody has relationships, so these songs tap into them. And
that's it. Everybody knows the feeling, and, like, whether every detail is right, like, in general, everybody's gonna relate, like, do you know what I mean? So I suppose the nature of what the songs were about and all, I suppose I just keep them stripped back and not too, like, I suppose, distracting, let's say.
Yeah, because the vocal and the stories they kind of take center stage on this EP, and that's the Losing Sleep EP. So that's available on Spotify and all the streaming platforms at the minute. I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
it anyway, man. It's even showing up in places I didn't notice it was like, yeah.
They
So
pay for
that's
it.
a good thing.
Yeah, but so we have that on online, and then we've the music video. So go check them out. And then to kind of switch it over to, obviously we're not able to have live gigs now and be in rooms with people, but in the past kind of two
Yeah.
years or so, kind of pre-COVID, what kind of gigs were you playing, and what venues did you have the chance to play, or what have been some of your favorite spots to play as an artist?
Um. Well, it's always a good vibe playing in town. Look, you know what I mean. Anybody from Dublin will know that. Anybody from Ireland that's played in Dublin will know that. Like, it's a great vibe when you have a headliner or whatever
Yeah.
in the venue in town.
Any
And
particular venue in town?
well, look, I played some big ones in the past, but in terms of like where I am now and in the last few years, I suppose Shin A in town.
Yeah, that's actually one of my
Uh,
favorite spots as well. Yeah,
they're a great spot if you're an independent artist or
yeah,
something. Like they're very accessible. Like, you know what I mean? You could go in and be any Joe soap and book the venue,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you can sell tickets or have door admissions, whatever. But
yeah.
once you pay them for it, they don't really care how you plan on getting the money back, you know, which is a good thing because a lot of venues in town won't touch somebody because they're worried about ticket sales or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which I never understood. It's a lot of times, like, the money's up front for the venue, and anyway, and you have to make it back out ticket sales. So,
no, they've always been good at supporting kind of up and coming artists. So yeah, shouts out to Sinead there. And then kind of more recently, you've been involved in gigs because of COVID that have had to been switched to online, so virtual gigs. So what kind of
yeah,
the highlight ones, I suppose, would be you played the Halloween festival for Ballymun and Finglas, and both of those were filmed and then streamed. So what was that kind of experience like,
yeah.
from live gigs now to having to film them with cameras? And
Yeah, it's the jump. Like, it is. Like, anybody who's ever been to a concert knows that no fucking camera phone or handheld, like, digital camera or anything is going to be able to capture the essence of what the people at the gig are hearing. Like, you know what I mean? It sounds very stripped back and bare sometimes when you listen to a video of something.
yeah,
Whereas if you were there to feel all them watts in your chest, like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's totally different. Like, it lifts everything. So I suppose it's trying to strike a balance between having to use technological mediums like Facebook Live and things like that, and
yeah, you're having to learn a whole
trying
new
to
set of skills in
find your sound in
to
the
have.
small. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to almost find your sound again in a sort of unusual setting. Like, do you know what I mean?
So
Well, that's the way it was for me. Like, some people might have just taken to it,
yeah,
but for me, I found like the more I did a live stream gig or was part of any live stream festivals or anything over the past year,
yeah,
uh, I noticed the more I heard myself back each time, the more I could,
bring
like,
it up a
the
notch.
more I could perform in a way that would most suit, like, the way I'm trying to, like, you know.
It
So you
is.
have like,
It's definitely something that we kind of all had to get used to. But I don't think anybody would pick a virtual gig over an actual gig being there in the moment. I think
no, not at all, no, no. It's
everybody
no comparison at all.
coming back. Yeah. But then just to switch it back to kind of more musical stuff, with all the music videos and the EP that you released, you also released videos online of different covers. So you've released a video covering "Bruises" by Lewis Capaldi and "Hallelujah" Leonard Cohen. So what makes you want to release a video of a cover like that? Is it literally solely for the respect of the artist and the song, or like how do you make the decision to be like, right, this is a cover I'm gonna release? Because I'm assuming you can sing thousands of different songs.
I, I,
What makes you to go out and
yeah.
put it out there?
To be totally honest, like I've like anybody that listens to my stuff knows I don't have one of those falsetto type voices. Like it comes out, like, do you know what I mean? Especially when I go into the higher range, like, do you know. So sometimes I'll find this song that I'm like, oh my God, that was written for me. Like, do you know what I mean? I know it's somebody else's, but like I can sing the shit out of that song. Like, do you know what I mean? And yeah, sometimes I'll just be singing along to something. I'll be like, ooh, that was nice. So like I'll sit down and learn the song word for word. And then if I want to press on to do a cover and put it up, then I will. There was another one then you mentioned, the Christmas tune.
The Christmas one, so I have Hallelujah and Bruises down here. There's another one. Oh, Hallelujah is the Christmassy one. Is that what you're on about?
Oh, no. Yeah, no. You're totally right. They're like the usual covers I put up, but I was just mentioning, like, I threw up sort of a Christmas tribute with the whole COVID thing and all, you know. And I just threw in a big collage of pictures of friends and shit like that, you know.
No?
It was that one, you know, that Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Of course, man. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
And
I just got that down for the laugh, like, you know. So the covers, I suppose, I just put up on social media. I don't really think of them as being part of the official, like.
next was when you're putting out the covers, do you find, have you seen that they help build the fan base a little bit more? Because you're releasing your own music, they might not click on it because they don't know the song, but if they see a cover and they're familiar with the artist and the song, have you seen any?
Yeah. Again, like, that's a bit of a cheat, like, I suppose, for any artist, like, especially a singer, like, you know,
Yeah.
because I don't know whether it'd be respectable for a rapper to do something like that, but like,
Yeah, anyway, yeah.
raps and song, like, you know. But yeah, no, singers, we can get away with doing like our own, like, rendition of something, and then people are like, all right, I know that song, or click on it. They click on it, and then like they hear you while they're hearing a song that they already know, and, like, do you know what I mean? It's almost like a little bit of a brain hack. It's marketing strategy, you know.
It is. It's an interesting way. It's definitely a good way of trying to build and grow your audience, man, and it seems to be working.
Yeah, well, see, I wouldn't necessarily put up stuff like that for that particular reason, but it works out like that on its own. So, like,
And yeah.
yeah.
Then just to nearly coming towards the end now, so what's the plans for the future? Obviously, it's all a bit mad now with COVID and lockdown and restrictions and all, but say, what's keeping you going? What you're working on at the minute? What's the plans for the future for Just Dev?
We have some big projects coming up. Basically, like, to try not give too much away at the same time. Like, in terms of, like, what the music would be like, you could consider it a far cry from the first EP. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's going to be a lot more rhythmic, a lot more instrumentation going on in there. Like, most people forgot after that first EP that I actually play guitar, piano, and drums. Like, so, yeah.
So you kind of want to
So it'd be good. It'd
showcase.
be good to get out something with a full sound, like.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you want to showcase the talents and abilities you have on instruments as well as your voice a little bit more on this one, is it?
Yeah, like, in terms of unplugged balladish type songs, from now on till the foreseeable future, like, I know there'd be few and far between. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, really, at heart, I've always been a band musician,
Yeah.
but that just didn't seem to work out in previous years. So, like, I just picked things up myself. But in terms of the sound I'll be looking for in general,
Yeah.
it would be that full rhythmic sound with a lot more instrumentation than just a guitar or a piano, you know.
And when can we? This is probably putting you on the spot, but when could we expect a new single or something new from yourself? Is it 2021? Is it 2022?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely before the summer in anyway, because I have two tracks that I want to release,
Nice.
and I'm not 100% decided yet. Like I have the tunes there, so it's just a matter of deciding on it. But I'm going to make it maybe 6 or 7 tracks long,
Nice.
rather than just the 5 this time. So there'll be a few extra little gems in there if I haven't gone and streamed the EP and all, you know, and
Sweet. So we've another EP on the way from
there'll be
you.
a bit more to
Not just
listen to this time.
singles, yeah.
Ah, yeah, like the singles, they'll come first as they usually do, but I'll definitely have another uh, follow-up record on the way because I believe in trilogies. So there's a part one, right? There's a part one, so
So this will be
we'll leave it there and we'll take it up in the future.
man. And then yeah, so we're gonna finish the interview with one of your music videos. We're gonna go to that now in a second. But before we do that, this is a little bit of a curveball. I have 5 just random questions that aren't music related at all, just to flip the script on you. So I'm gonna get
All right, here we go.
It's nothing too mad. It's nothing too mad, I promise. The first one,
That's all good, man.
this is just to get like people that are gonna watch or your fans, just to get to know you a little bit more outside of music.
Yeah, that's all good. That just don't be judging me too much after this is over.
Yeah, the first one, cat or dog person?
I'd say, yeah, I'm a dog person. I don't necessarily have anything against cats. I suppose I've always seen them as being a little bit more sly than a dog, and the dog is a little bit more like,
In your face,
the
love.
dog's a bit more of a fool, do you know what I mean? The dog just wants to be a friend, but a cat's thinking stuff, do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's plotting against you.
Dog person. Question 2. Favorite TV show, can be current or in the past. Just what's your kind of favorite TV show?
I'm a big sci-fi fan. So, yeah, The Mandalorian, I suppose, has been
Yeah, I
one
like.
of the top series that I watched in the past, like, that's recently. I
Yeah,
suppose of all time, I couldn't really tell you, man. I grew up on Saved by the Bell and stuff. It's hard to judge.
there's a lot of classics
So,
back then, man. Yeah. Yeah. No, here I'll take Mandalorian as an answer, no problem. Your favorite color? What's your favorite color?
I suppose just off the top of my head, like, blue. Used to be green when I was a kid. Don't ask me why it changed to blue. It just did. And then,
Question, man. Why does your favorite color change? Who knows?
I don't know, man. It can't be any worse than like somebody changing my football team they support. I've seen that before.
I've seen that a few times myself. Yeah. Yeah. So blue is the color right now. That's alright. And then you mentioned you were into the sci-fi stuff. So this kind of next one is interesting. Favorite superhero?
Ooh, fuck. Have we got all night?
Need the one.
Favorite superhero.
It's a tough one.
I don't know. I've always been more into me anti-heroes. They're not exactly superheroes, but like the Punisher probably, do you know?
Nice, man. Nice, yeah. And then
Chap going around exacting vengeance on people for killing his family, like, you know, that's more up my street than some chap in tights flying around and doing whatever, like, you know.
Yeah. And then the last question I'll leave you with before we cut to your music video and let you go. You're stranded on a desert island with one Simpsons character. What Simpsons character do you want to be stranded on an island with?
Oh, Gil.
Gil, man.
Yeah, man. Can you imagine laughing at that? He keep you entertained the whole time just by the gloominess of it all, you know? He'd use how shitty the situation was to cheer me up.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't expecting that, man. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting Gail, but fair play. So yeah, man. Again, thanks for being the first guest, the Music Corner. So people can get you online, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just Dave.
Yeah, anywhere basically. Like I told you, there's places that I couldn't even name off the top of my head that you can find it. It's literally anywhere you can buy or stream music. Like,
And then to keep
so,
up to date, it's just social
go
media.
for it.
Just Dave, yeah.
Yeah, Just Dave or official Just Dave. It's official Just Dave on Facebook, and then Just Dave Music on Instagram.
Deadly, man. But yeah, we're gonna.
Some hillbilly beat me to the punch, so like I couldn't just get Just Dave on its own.
I know the struggle, man. Yeah, no, but here, thanks again, man. We're gonna go over and check out your music video, I Give Up Now, and yeah, best of luck with the EP, man, and the rest of the 2021. I hope it brings you more success. And again, just thanks again for being a number one guest, episode 1. Fair play, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
I've been around so long, baby, I know your game. You let me think I found a love so unbreakable and strong. Turns out you're all the same. But you were happy with my love when I loved you oh so much. I went and bruised myself. But when I need that healing love back in return, you turned your back like everybody else. And I know I'm not perfect, but if you waited, girl, I was worth it. So I take these pieces of broken heart, use them to build a wall. I build it up twice as high so no one else gets across. I give up. Love shouldn't hurt this much. I give up. Always try to be good to you. I would spare no expense. And if I wasn't telling you about your beauty through and through, I'd buy you shiny things. It's not about material. I did it all so you'd feel loved, and that's the honest truth. That you know not a day goes by that your face ain't on my mind like I'm supposed to do. You know no one's perfect, so keep on looking, baby, you won't find it. While I take these pieces of broken heart, use them to build a wall. Build it up twice as high so no one else gets across. I give up. Love shouldn't be this tough. I give up. I'll take these pieces of broken heart, use them to build a wall. Build it up twice as high so no one else gets across. I give up. Love shouldn't hurt this much. I give up.